So hello everyone, my name is Serhii. I'm an application architect in Spryker. My team is usually responsible for some infrastructure things like updating PHP, for example, or maybe introducing some low-level infrastructure. And we're also responsible to finalizing and finally releasing to the public dynamic multi-store. That's why I'm going to discuss it, give you a quick look on it. If you don't know what is it, I'm going to describe it to you. If you know what is it, I'm going to just remind it and maybe add in a little bit of technical dive if you're into it. So let's start. What is and why do we need dynamic multi-store? If you go on our website, on our documentation portal, you already can find some documentation about it. And documentation says that dynamic multi-store feature lets you create and manage multiple stores within the same region in the back office. It streamlines the setup and maintains of distinct stores tailored to various customer segments, regions, or product categories. But what does it mean for us? What is the key differences in dynamic multi-store mode off and on? So in the nutshell, if you want to add new store currently, so you have necessity for your reasons, I don't know, you want to add some new region store, or maybe just store for some sale, or maybe for other reasons. The thing that you need to add a new store currently is, first of all, you need to go to our code base. First of all, you need to find a developer who's going to do it. And this developer need to go to our code base and update our store's PHP file. And after that, we need to just do our Git stuff, like Git add, Git commit, Git push. And I'm just excluded some of the other things that need to be done, like data input and everything. But just you need also push everything to your public repo. Afterwards, you need to create a pull request, because those are code changes, and I guess your fellow developers need to check it. Maybe you did something wrong, or maybe you did something extra. So you need to do a code review, and a code review something maybe were wrong, and you need to fix those stuff. And it's just actually time you need to do all this stuff, and you have some other things in the background. So you need to create pull requests, get updates. Afterwards, you need to deploy all those changes. And only afterwards, you're going to have your store available for you. But if something went wrong, or maybe you need another store, you need to do everything once again. You just need to live, die, and repeat. This is not ideal. It's doable still, but it's not ideal, and it's a bit hard. What we want to achieve is to simplify this process as much as possible. So currently, in order to add new store, what you need to go to back office, go to some maintenance page, stores, click a create store, add a store name, add locales, add currencies, and that's it. You are good to go. You have a store ready for you. There also can maybe some other tuning that you want to add. So you still need to put products or assign products to your store. But all these things also required to be done in the current mode. But just to create a new store, to make it available, this is 3 simple steps that you need to do. And you can live your life or do other tasks if you're a developer, a manager, or any other person. But you may ask, Serhii, I do all this stuff. I'm a developer, people paying me for that. I want to do technical things. I want to go to the store's PHP file, add things, add array, validate it all by myself, because it's my job. Maybe you can share some technical details about it. Yeah, it's not good visibility diagram, but it's it's overview of what we actually did here. So first of all, we updated currency, country, and locale models. They get new majors for a long time already, I guess for a year for sure. So it's not a new thing. We introduced some database tables in those. That's why we actually made a major. We also updated the store model itself. That's logical. We added a bunch GUI models and updates. And we updated a few other models to provide some infrastructure functionality like resolving the current store, but I'm going to talk about it a bit later. And we also had storage module because I'm also going to talk about later, but store is currently available via storage. So, but yeah, let's not go further. Let's go step by step. So we need to go deeper about it. First of all, if you look like in the deploy files that you can find in demo shops from tomorrow, I guess, you can find that some of those deploy files that we provide out of the box have like dynamic multi-store mode enabled for them. And first of all, you can notice that all services like database, message broker, storage, search, all those things are bound currently for the region. So if you open the deploy file right now, all those things are store related. So you specify your store in the deploy file, you specify storage, database, all the things that, yeah, it's store specific. So currently we can do without it. So, but we still need some like, node to attach it. So we decided that region is going to be that node. It's not like AWS region, it's just as a way to group something. So yeah, if you go to the message broker currently with the dynamic multi-store mode off, you can see that every queue is bound to the store. So when you process your publishing synchronized message, they're going to be processed per store. And if you, for example, your Jenkins, if you're using Jenkins, have only 2 available workers, they're going to be like processed one by one, store by store. It's not what it is right now with the dynamic multi-store mode on. So the queue is bound to the region, like I said, and all the stores that are in that region are going to be processed within one queue, but within region queues. So all the publishing connect messages from all the stores from your region is going to be processed together. The same goes for, yeah, like I mentioned, Jenkins. Currently, if you check Jenkins with the multi-store mode on, you can see that all the workers, all the jobs are region specific and not store specific. Okay, but what like other things that we need to know and understand about the multi-store mode if we are going to develop something, maybe we need to update our project code or maybe do something else. So first of all, the ways you define application like current store changed. So currently, if you define application store constant, it's actually going to be like it's a current store. So if you run console command, you can just prepend it with application store DE, for example, or other store, and it's going to be executed from the store context. If you just define some store in your index.php file, it's going to be used that. Currently, in the default setup in demo shops, you can see that store selected from the URL and it's bound. And underneath, under the hood, when we resolve the store, we just put the store name in the application store constant, and it's defined as a current store. Like I said, it's not true anymore because we changed it away how we work with it. So for the storefront, it's easy. We added like on the storefront, we have a new widget that is select for the stores. It's customizable, of course, but when you select this store from this list, it's going to be like sent to the server and is going to be selected as a new current store. For that, we have application plugin that you need to wire in your dependency provider, or you can just use Upgrader and get it automatically. This application plugin is going to resolve store for you, is going to select it from the additional get parameter that we're actually going to send, but this can be changed to anything else. So currently we have in progress a feature that allows you to select store by just put it in any URL. So instead of, as you can see on the screen share, is EU Spryker local /en is going to be /at/de, and after that we are going to select locale. It's currently in progress, so keep looking on it. But yeah, so the REST application plugin, you are able to send the data from it, and it's going to be sorted as a current store. So when you call a current store, get current store client method, it's going to be selected store what you select on the storefront. For the back office, it's going to be a bit harder because currently back office is store agnostic. Back office is region bound, so it knows nothing about stores that you want to work with. There are still functionalities that require you like to have a current store in the back office. First of all, for the not for back office, for let's say that layer. So our back office application still sends stores that were selected on the storefront to the Z layer, and get current store can get your store in this context. But also, if you have some specific logic in place that you want to use still in the dynamic multi-store mode on, and you need get current store, you have two ways. First of all, you can provide it with a get request or with a get parameter as on the storefront, or also you can just provide additional parameters, the get current store method, and it's going to just fall back to the first available store in the list. But usually we do not recommend to use this method currently in the Z or in the back office because it can be a bit unpredictable. For the glue, for all glue applications we have currently in place, for the legacy one, for the new storefront, for backend, if you have some old existing resource that you need to work with specific store, you can provide it also with a URL parameter or with a header, just a store header. You can send it, and application going to resolve it as a current store for this request. For the console application, like I mentioned previously, you're not able to use this application store constant anymore. You still can use it for sure, but not in this context. But if you have, and all of the console commands that we provided, at least almost all of them, now is store agnostic. But if you have necessity to run those commands with specific store, or you want to add your console command with specific store, we have additional like abstract class that you can extend, and doesn't matter. And if with those commands you can provide additional parameter like -- store, and you provide store name, and this console command is going to be executed with a specific store in mind. And like I mentioned previously, because we are not using, let's say start from the beginning. When we currently using our store, when we want to get store, when we read it from client or from facade, in the current setup, you are going to get your data from the singleton we have in our store module that is going to read it from the store.php file. And because of that, it's available on every application, on every container. It's not going to work currently because when you call get store by name in the back office context, you're going to get data from the facade. If you're going to call it from the client, you need also to get it from somewhere, and it's going to be like one source of truth. Because of that, we are publishing our stores to the storage. And I didn't mention it in the beginning, we also allow it to extend your store with your additional data. So if you want to put something in store, you need to consider it if it's a good idea in the first place, because it's going to be published in the storage and it's going to be available not only on your back office, but there also. But you can publish it. So you can access it via client, and you can work with it on the storefront. And yeah, it's available for you there. As all the things that relate to the store, like locales, currencies, all that things. And if I may say that like a quick overview of what we did. It's a bit deeper, but documentation already like published. It's in place in the documentation portal, and we also have one update in mind currently. So we are just it's in the review phase. We're going to update documentation with additional data, with limitation guides, with some extended our documentation as a data with new data. So it's available. You can check it, and from the I guess tomorrow in the new release in demo shops, you can get it and use it on your own and try it and play with it. So from my side, that's it. If any or have, I see that some questions in chat.
Thank you, Serhii. And I just wonder what were the questions that Florian wanted to ask, because you answered all of them. So that was, I would be just curious about those. But other than that, if someone has a question, I mean, the one from Sebastian was more in general about recordings. So again, Serhii is here, our expert. Take the chance. Always great to ask someone right after the content. So if there's something on the top of your mind that you want to ask away, do it ideally now. I mean, otherwise you can also ask in the community as always.
Yeah, for sure. Like in community, you can also send questions. We checking it from time to time, at least me. And I'm going to be happy, and my team is going to be happy to answer all the questions. And we also like looking for feedback, what we can improve, what features missing. Maybe you notice something. Maybe documentation is not ideal. We all want to hear your feedback and
cool.
fix everything.
Florian and Sebastian actually have questions, so I will give the mic first to Florian, and then I will give it over to Sebastian.
Hi. Thank you very much for the presentation, Serhii. I have one question which normally comes into projects who need to update things. Is there a migration guide to implement from the older projects to the dynamic multi-store?
We have a guide how to install it, but from migration phase, it's a bit harder because first of all, you need to put new data in the database. So there is a description of what need to be added there, but there is no like a magic script that's going to migrate it for you. So documentation is there. There are a way how to enable the multi-store, but with migration of existing data, it might be tricky because you might have something customizable on your project.
Thank you.
Cool. And I hand over to Sebastian.
Hi, just a quick question. You have shown that the queues are now related to regions instead of stores. So that means there will be a way less queues. Does it have a positive impact to the Jenkins container in the cloud, especially to the performance? Do you know something?
I understand your question. It's for sure easier to handle if you have a lot of data in a lot of stores, if you have multi-store setup. Previously, it was possible that you're going to wait for some time when your other store is going to be processed, because maybe the first store is going to take all the available workers. Currently, it's going to for sure have a positive impact that is going to be processed in one, let's say, one batch. We haven't measured if it was like faster performance-wise. So I don't have like exact numbers that it became faster in X, but it have potential to be faster. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. But nice feature.
Yeah, it was like long to develop, and we are very happy to finally publish it and make it available for you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Sebastian, and also Florian for the questions. Again,